So hey everyone, I'm making a video to show the reinstallation of the top dash and steering wheel after I had a problem with this car's defrost. Didn't work. So what we surmised was the defroster stepper motor was the problem, and I could only get as far as pulling out the center dash and up to the console and the lower dash in this console here through this really helpful video from NK1794. That was fantastic. He got me that far. A friend of mine, Phil, who was an experienced late model European mechanic, went ahead and dropped the steering wheel and took the upper part of the dash out. So this video is showing the reinstallation part of that. And if you ever need to get to that stepper motor, just work backwards from the video from the end to see how he removed the dash, the upper part of the dash, which I couldn't find anything on YouTube doing. So hopefully this helps somebody out in doing that. So it's all back together again. It all works. Thanks, bro.
Being strong enough. Make a push, don't rush to God. You got me coming back, 'cause I'm a fool for love.
I'm replacing the stepper motor in the very top, Defroster. This is the key part, and it goes inside. It's hard to see because it's all dark, but it goes inside there only one way. And somebody had mentioned that you have to take the frame out. This is a 2003 C240 Mercedes Benz. You do not have to take the frame out to get this motor in. If you delicately put that in there in one way from the top, it will go in. So taking the frame out, it's not necessary. So I gotta get that thing in there and in. And now all I have to do is get the screws on. They're a little bit of a pain. The top ones, thank you. The top ones I can get to with just kind of working at an angle with the Torx driver. The bottom one I literally have to use like a right angled Torx driver to get at that one, that bottom right one. But it goes in fine without removing the entire frame. But you do have to remove, of course, the steering wheel and airbag and everything from the top dash. But frame can stay. So after a little bit of wrestling with the top screws, that top left one at an angle, the bottom one is almost impossible. You got to use some sort of right angled Torx driver to get at it, which they sell. I have this little ratchet. Let's see if I can see this thing. It's an attachment that goes onto a regular screwdriver, onto a regular like multi-bit screwdriver, and it's basically it's a ratchet, so I can get in there. Probably got it when I was 15 years old to get that bottom right one, but hopefully it works. Dash back in place, just set it in place, and the only thing we have is to secure the top, our two screws in the front. One where Phil's working at, and there's one over in here, right, that goes in there, that holds the top down before you start putting in the front secure bolts.
So, what I've learned is that these tabs coincide with this part of the clip. Not that part up there, but that little tab sticking down on all four of these. That's
the little metal clip.
Yeah, but it's not that upper part.
It's in between the two.
That's that little part down at the
Oh,
bottom.
it's underneath.
Yeah.
Like in there.
Right there. It snaps. It's going to go in like that.
Okay. All right.
On all four of them. And I presume this thing doesn't matter, even though it's part of the airbag system. Again. And you got that where it should be, so that's happy.
So those tabs go down inside.
They go down into the slots that are on the side of the dash top. Yep, that's all good. Then you kind of line this up and you hope for the best.
Nice. Snaps in like a gem.
What gem are you talking about?
We'll do a little trickery and just kind of set the video up to like quadruple time. So putting that instrument cluster.
Does that mean I'm going to talk like the chipmunks?
Just mute the audio. That's like the instrument panel. What am I trying to say? The instrument cluster. The instrument cluster's shield, basically.
That looks right. This tab has to go up in here where my two fingers are.
Oh, okay, that one right there.
Yeah, way in the back.
Yep.
It's got to go all the way back in there. Which
So how did you take this out of there?
I don't remember.
Okay. And they have like screws that actually those tabs, those little screws that go up.
Yeah,
to
there's
the
three.
top.
These
There's
tiny,
little-
tiny bronze-colored Torx screws.
Okay.
These little buggers right here. And now it's time to ditch the gloves.
I'm gonna reconnect the airbag connector on that side, on the right side, and then on the left. That's connectors, we can see that. Okay. Phil had some problems getting this right one on. The pins were actually a little bent, if you can see those pins in there. The one was a little bent for some reason after we had taken it apart. So you kind of had to adjust.
John, did this trunk or hood release cable attach to these screws? No, they didn't.
And that snapped on as it should.
That must go in the center console. Or in one of the other parts.
Does that lock go back over top, that tab? Then once you have it on?
Yeah. You
It
push
does.
it all the way
You
in and
push
then
it.
just take that tab, it folds over
Okay,
into those
the-
two little slots.
Okay, so that tab folds over and
shoves
snaps
straight in.
right into the two little slots.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I got the left plug on, and you just put the little tab, the locking tab, into the two little slots. Locks it in place. It won't come off now.
I'm having a hell of a time lining up this screw though.
Screws on the right side of the dash. We had taken them out, thinking they had to come out to get the top dash out. They don't. They can stay in place. And Phil is still wrestling with that same stupid screw. it's having a hard time lining up with that hole. Is that part of the metal frame, or is it just two plastic parts?
It holds the top dash to the console that holds the instrument cluster.
Instrument cluster shield.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow, I don't get this at all.
Did you get started?
I think so.
The maddening screw
Is in.
is finally going in
So I guess I should
to its
switch
little
those-
metal clip.
I should switch those other two.
That metal clip. That was the one. That was the bear that was actually struggling. So he's gonna. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, those have like. They have bigger threads, so you're thinking the small ones with the smaller.
Yeah, and they're way
threads
too
go in.
long. They stick way up.
Oh yeah. All right. So we got the wrong screws in. We're gonna make it right. Nothing good about putting up a steering wheel.
I gotta wrestle that back one in. That
Oh
thing.
man, I don't know what you're doing. Okay.
Well, that's this. This goes up into there. The bolt
Okay.
goes in like so,
I see.
and it goes through that, which I will do
Is
once
that
I
the
get
first
these.
thing you do actually?
No, you got to get the other one started first.
Which one?
These two.
You have to start the front too.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so that pin goes through this. That's the first thing. That center pin goes
Yeah,
in.
that's the locator.
That is the locator to make sure you got it in the right spot. Oh, I see. Okay. And that locator goes through that back shield, right?
Goes through that and that.
And the
It's going through that main
cluster shield.
frame and then also the instrument cluster cover. Or
Does the pin hit? Does it go through the frame, or is it just
yeah,
plastic?
that's the frame.
Oh, that is
That
the
big-
black frame. Okay.
Yeah,
That's hard to see from
The
here.
black frame.
If that's like, I couldn't tell if that was plastic or not.
All right, let's not get this. Yeah, I thought so. Prick. See if you can see that on YouTube.
I'm sure you can see brick on YouTube. Also, before getting the glove box into place, these bolts that hold the airbag system in place, they have to get bolted in. I'm just hand tightening them right now. I'll get a ratchet on those. As you can see, they're right there.
Cool.
And get a wrench on those, tighten them down. Before the glove box goes in, and the glove box has three, I think they're 3 screws, or I can't remember if they're bolts or screws to go up through the glove box. There, and there's one over here. Instrument cluster. That went in not too bad that time.
Not done
You
yet.
still got to do the plug.
I'm not done yet.
Got the right side in and the left side?
Yipper.
So when you actually remove it, you stick your
Stick
tiny little tool in through there to pop those tabs open. And
Yeah.
Same as the other side.
Yep. All right, everybody's happy.
Putting the fuse box back, it's just one screw. It sits on the outside of the
It
metal
clips
frame.
on the bottom, goes into that little channel. Then you put the screw in.
Screw in from the top.
Maybe.
that? That just, yeah.
That goes up somewhere
That goes
in there.
into the front part of the dash, which I'll take care of later.
Put the book back in.
Oh, the book. Need the book.
Gotta have the
Otherwise,
book.
it's all guesswork.
Is it all in German?
Yes. Great.
Where's the key?
Find the key.
I'm getting an ear sunburn.
All right. So I got two things I did. I replaced the actuator arm. That actuator, the arm. God, it's so hard to see. That arm was broken underneath the on the connection side on the motor. So that's moving smoothly now. And more importantly, the defroster stepper motor I replaced. So we're gonna make sure we see those open and close.
So we want to do another.
So we've got to do
How
the
do you do the
test.
thing? These two?
So you got to hold those two buttons, the defrost and the recirculating at the same time. You got to hold them down for like 8 seconds or something like that until they start blinking, and now they are. So now, yep, it's open right now. Air is coming out of there beautifully, so that defroster motor is working. And now it's closed. And how's that thing moving?
Didn't see it.
Yeah, I'll have to start a new one. Start a new calibration. Okay, yep, there it went. So it's moving properly. Okay. So everything's working as it should. Most importantly, the defrost. The air is actually coming out of the top now, so that motor was dead and I replaced it. So this top tray here. There's 4 screws, 1, 2. I can't even see 3 and 4. Okay. They go back. It certainly has the same sort of triangular shape. I don't have another car part.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Oh, I get it. It's a triangle. Oh, great. Then I can close this initially. That goes through here.
No, right. Somehow.
That's got to go on top, right there. I don't think I have this side one. It's supposed to be. Okay, good.
Is that actually shoving me? Oh, yeah, it does. Yep.
Oh, it popped out?
Yeah, the wiring just popped out. Okay. Oh, and that's on the metal frame part. There's a screw over there. Yep. Okay.
That flew.
Lose the screw.
Of course.
Oh. That. You don't want my phone.
Had a light in it, that's all I knew. Where the hell did that go? Oh, great. Stupid thing.
We'll
Right.
find it. Same spot underneath.
That's that way.
There.
Right there.
Okay.
one.
And we still have to put the 3 that go from the top up.
Yeah.
Do you need a torque driver? Or
I have one.
you got one? Okay. And they go up at an angle?
Yeah, there's only 2.
I thought there was, I'm pretty sure there's 3.
I'm only seeing 2 holes.
Really? Because I saw 3 spots where they would go from underneath.
Chased away, pushed and shoved. Another summer's passed and I'm a fool for love.
To the one on the outside then. So there's only one screw on there that holds that CD, that CD changer in place.
Yeah. It looks sort of like a half-assed add-on. Just so you couldn't grab it and yank it out of the car, I suppose.
So it wouldn't pull out.
That was the anti-theft system they came up with, was 1 screw.
Nothing changes, it never does. Another summer's passed and I'm a fool for love. Another summer's passed and I'm a fool for love. A fool for love. A fool for love. A fool for love.
Back in the car! It's only been a month. Look, and there's a dashboard with controls and stuff where all of this was ripped out.